Hello, everybody. This is Angela Huffman joining you with Anonymous No More. I wanted to welcome you today to this recording here. And today I'm going to share with you the first of 7 signs of possible repression of feminine energy. This is an interesting segment, I think, or this is going to be an interesting series, and I hope that you enjoy it and you get some valuable content that you can use in your everyday life. So, with that being said, I want to thank you and welcome you into this segment. And the segment is about intuition. But first, really quick, I'm going to tell everybody, just in case you're watching for the first time, what Anonymous No More is all about. And Anonymous No More is a group empowering women of all ages and stages of life by creating a safe space or safe container for women to step out of the anonymous game, step into their truth, tell their stories, while also providing valuable content that helps with personal and spiritual growth at an individual level and hopes to create ripples to help change the collective consciousness and the physical world that we live in. So that is what Anonymous No More is about. And if you enjoy the content, I invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well as become a member of our Facebook group. We are building every single day, fairly new group, but we do have a remarkable group already of powerful or empowered women who are starting to connect in different ways, personal ways. But anyway, so there's that, and I'll go into that a little bit more at the end of the segment. So I have come up with 7 different signs of the repressed feminine energy. And today we are going to uncover or go a little bit deeper into the first sign, which would be a disconnection from our intuition. And I think this is really, really huge because I think we're taught from a very young age that it's not a good thing to actually be connected to your intuition. Because it's kind of like unknown. It's something that has not been explored and people don't really understand a lot of it. Although in the day and age that we live in now, it's actually becoming more and more accepted, so to speak. But anyway, so we're going to go a little bit deeper into that. And really quick, I'm actually going to, I'm going to share my screen with you as we go through this so that in case I talk a little bit too fast, because I do have a tendency to do that, you have the screen in front of you in case you wanted to take notes for your own. Of course, you could always come back to the video as well. All right, so here we go. So the 7 signs of repressed feminine energy that I have come up with, and I'm sure there's many, many more things that could be added to this list, but these are the 7 that I'm going to be working with in this series. This one is only about the first one, which is the disconnection from our intuition. Okay, so it's disconnection from our intuition, a lack of community, tribe, or circle. For me, it's this particular, the second one, lack of community and tribe, is powerful. It's very moving for me. And this is, in essence, one of the reasons why I created Anonymous for Women, or Anonymous No More for Women, is to get a sense of that community that I have been lacking in my own life, that sense of tribe, that sense of connection in circle with other like-minded women. The third sign that I've come up with is being disconnected from our bodies. And I think this is really, really huge for women. Since, oh my gosh, ages and ages ago, having, oh my gosh, what is the word for it? We're not comfortable, or we don't like our bodies. That's a huge thing. Always focused on weight loss and diet and, not being happy with the natural curves and tunes to our bodies, regardless of whatever shape and size we are. A great upbeat popular song that I love to listen to, because I am not a small woman, but and for most of my or lately I've been okay. I've been accepting of my body as it is. There's a song all about that bass, I think it's called, or something like that, but it talks about being okay, and it's okay to have some bigness or whatever. But there are also women who are smaller, have smaller bodies, and don't have as many curves as other women, and they are disconnected from their bodies as well. They're not happy, and it's so the disconnection of our bodies is another huge topic in the repressed feminine energy. Suppressing emotions to fit in. Okay, another huge one. Oh my gosh. This is another one. Another hot topic as far as me personally, feeling like you don't fit in, and you have to change who you are and feel different things and conform and all that. So suppressing the emotions is another huge topic for that. Disconnected from the natural rhythms, the natural cycles of the earth itself. We're supposed there are cycles of the seasons, there are cycles of the moons, and we've actually moved away from that. For in ancient times, they used that to do almost everything. So when it was wintertime, they would rest, and work on things to plant and sow for springtime. And they would, their bodies wouldn't need a whole lot, because there really wasn't a whole lot out there, because it was winter. It was feast or famine situations in the cycles in ancient times. Having women connecting with the cycles of the moon, with their natural blood cycles. We've moved away from that so much because it was frowned upon. Um, um, with many different things. So that is another huge thing. Maybe not a hot topic, but I think it's something that we need to be aware of, and we actually need to connect with. Um, Fear of the unknown, hot topic. A lot of us have a lot of fear built up in the unknown, and we actually don't take risks and follow through on things because we don't know what the outcome's going to be. I think that's huge for us, and we actually hold ourselves back from reaching our highest potential when we really kind of hover in that fear of the unknown zone. And then the final segment in this series, which was not today, this is going to be like a 7-part series, is reluctance to nurture yourself. Another hot topic, because we women actually have this reluctance of actually taking care of ourselves in one form or the other, because we think of it as we feel guilty for doing it. We feel like we're being selfish for nurturing our own self, for taking the time to take that bubble bath, or go to the gym, or buy the healthy foods. We think it's selfish. So these are the 7 signs that I am going to talk about in this video series, not this particular video recording, but in the series to come. So today is the first one. We're going to be talking about ways that we can actually connect to our intuition. So that's what we're going to talk about today. All right, so intuition is the powerful inner wisdom that we can trust. So intuition is our natural ability or natural power that makes it possible to know something without proof or evidence. We don't need proof or evidence when we're tapping into this natural intuition of ours that we actually have. It's a feeling that guides a person to act in a certain way. They just have this feeling that they have to behave this way, or they have to do something, do this particular thing. It's just powerful inner wisdom that does not steer us wrong. And intuition is accessible to everyone, not just a select few. And I think a lot of people tie intuition into the psychic realm, although it's very, very closely attached and very similar. And I fully believe that anybody could be psychic if they learn to use their psychic abilities. Same thing with intuition. If you learn to use your intuition, you can do it. Everybody has access to it. You just have to work with it. You have to put in the time, you have to put in the dedication, and you have to use it. If you use it, you lose it. That's been kind of like a motto of mine lately. It's actually come up several times. If you don't use it, you lose it. So you have to use it. You have to practice it. You have to do things to kind of enhance it and make it stronger. Okay. So that becoming aware of the intuitive messages. How can you become aware of it? So a lot of people they can't really tell if things are intuition or it's just their imagination or whatever. So here are just some simple ways that you can start becoming aware that you are receiving intuitive messages. Gut feelings, aha moments, a body signal, a flash of insight that comes into you, a dream, a voice in your head. I get voices in my head all the time. In fact, it depending on where your your most powerful gift is as far as in the intuitive process, you're going to have one powerful sense over all the others. Mine is hearing. So I don't really get a whole lot of visions, although I do get visions. It's hearing. I hear it's like little whispers. My inner voice speaks to me. So it'll say, I'm driving down the freeway going 80 miles an hour, okay, 75. And it says, you need to move over to the next lane. So I move over to the next lane. It's just automatic. I hear it and I move. I make sure, of course, it's safe to move. And the next thing I know, the person who comes up alongside of me, their tire blows out right there. That's why I needed to move. So trusting those voices and the flashes of insight that you receive. Those to me are your soul messages. Tuning in. All right. So why this is kind of a segment on tuning into the inner guidance and why you want to. What is the benefit to do it anyway? So there are many different techniques that you can practice on your own to become more proficient at tuning into your intuition. And also, we're also going to discuss later on ways that you can learn to determine if you're actually getting intuitive hits, or is it wishful or fearful thinking, or is it your imagination, that kind of thing. Because a lot of people, something comes in, it's like, oh, that's just my, it's my imagination, whatever. And they just let it be and they don't follow through with that inspiration or motivation. And that's usually where we self-sabotage ourselves the most, I think, in life. But one of the greatest benefits of actually using our intuition is that we become more empowered by using these inherent natural abilities that we were given to use. And this inner wisdom can help us to really jump into it and get on with leading a more discerning and fulfilled life, which is amazing when you have that feeling that you're empowered with, that feeling that that at any given moment, if you're not headed in the direction that you're supposed to be going or whatever, you have that trust that you've got this built-in radar, this built-in secret weapon that's going to go beep, 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 move over, and get you back on track. So you can start living your life more comfortably with more trust in the universe or in the world and in yourself. Oh my gosh, that's huge. All right. So quieting your mind. So whether you call it your inner knowing, your higher self, your soul, or something divine or godlike, that wise inner voice is always communicating with us at any given point in every moment of every day. It's there. It is communicating with us in some way, somehow. The problem is that it can be hard for us to actually hear it or learn to hear it if we don't know, number one, what we're looking for, and number two, if we have all this mental chatter, like most of us do, going on there in their minds. So you have to learn to have some quietness, right? Oh no, meditation. Okay, it doesn't really have to be all that. It is what you make it. So quieting your mind is very easy to do, and you don't have to do it for a long period of time. So if you take just a few quiet moments to tune in and mentally set aside your to-do list, turning off your phone, closing the door, telling your kids, do not disturb me, I'm busy for 5 minutes. You lock the door, lock them out, you shut down the computer or you turn it off or move away from it, all your electronics, leave them somewhere else. So you have this quiet, sacred moment, okay? So you're going to sit down and you're going to close your eyes and you're going to take a few deep breaths in and out. And I'm not talking about shallow breaths. I'm talking deep down into your belly, all the way to your feet, inhaling breaths and pushing all of that out. So, and every time you do that, the focus and the intent is to relax your body, and you're paying attention to breathing in and breathing out. That's all you're paying attention to. Breathing in. Okay, do it with me. Close your eyes. Breathing in. When I do that, I could just feel the muscles and tension in my body just leave. So if you do that 3 or 4 times, your body is going to become in this relaxed state. And it's almost going to be like, well, you are raising your vibrations when you do that, but it's almost going to be like you're putting yourself in a very trance-like state of mind, an altered state of mind. So paying attention to your inhaling and your exhaling. And then when thoughts come in, you're going to picture them like clouds just coming in and floating by. If clouds float by slowly, sometimes fast, just picture it on a cloud floating through your mind's eye. Okay. Notice them. Let them float by, in and out. Let it go. Then refocus on your breath. Bring your attention back to the breath. So a lot of people call this meditation, but some people have this like block with meditation, and they make it think it's so much harder than what it is. So if you have an uncomfortable feeling where you have this intimidation of meditating, don't think of it that way. Just think of it ultimately as just a wonderful way to still your mind, to be in the moment. It's a great way to start tapping into your intuition. I have moments where inspiration and ideas come in for me. Of course, I keep a notebook next to me while meditating so I can write it down and then going back into my breathing and my focus. Listening to your gut. Science associates these feelings with an actual brain in the gut. And this brain in the gut is like a network of neurons that process information almost instantaneously. That's butterflies in the stomach, nauseous feelings. So before your thinking mind kicks in, start to train yourself to check in with your gut. So if you're in a situation or whatever, and you're meeting, or if you're in a group of people, let's use people. You're going into the social gathering and whatever, and someone walks up to you, check in with your gut. How is your gut reacting to the person in front of you? Is it a knot? Do you suddenly feel nauseous or acidic, or do you have cramps? Do you feel relaxed around certain people, or do you get just a sense of serenity and trust? Or does something feel off? All of these senses come into your gut and it notifies you. Be careful, though, not to talk yourself out of these intuitions, because some people, until you get a handle on things, you're going to think that maybe you're coming down with a cold and you're got a stomach virus coming in or something, or you need to run to the bathroom. But it could be your intuition talking to you through your gut. That's our soul center, in that gut area, So pay attention to it and listen. Let aha moments guide your actions. Oh my gosh, this is so beneficial. If we would actually follow through and allow this in our lives, allow it to lead our lives. So in conversations, you may get an eerie feeling about a person in a flash, like, oh, this person's not right. It just drops in. Boop. So when you're in a conversation, you have this eerie thought popping in. We actually have a tendency to continue on to the next thought so rapidly that sometimes we miss these crucial insights altogether. So, for instance, you're having a conversation with your spouse and your spouse is upset, and you get a sudden picture of your spouse as a frightened child. So, what do you need to do? When you get this sense, this drop in, oh, he's frightened. This is like a fear thing coming up, a wound for him. This is your cue to actually make this child, this inner child of your spouse, feel safe and feel understood. So you need to talk to them at that child level. You need to follow through. This isn't the time to pick a fight, to push their buttons. Why aren't you listening to me? You know, to be that different energy, or how come you're not communicating with me? You need to make them feel safe in the moment so that they can open up to talk about why they are upset. A lot of times when we are tapping into our inner child, sometimes we don't feel safe to share certain things. And so knowing this and having this awareness by those insights that are coming in, you can communicate at whatever level you need to, especially when it comes to the people we love. But you can also use it with other people as well. You can also use it in regards to coworkers, your colleagues. If they're not budging on a negotiation, and you get this flash that let him think on it, or let them think on it overnight, rather than pushing, because sometimes we have a tendency to want the answers right away in life, right? But an insight may drop in that time needs to go by before everybody's going to feel okay with a different way of doing things. So follow that impression and let some time go by, and then see if this breathing room has actually allowed things to shift for in this particular situation. So by doing that, these aha moments are great guides that we can learn to trust. And when we learn that's a huge thing. And I can hear myself repeating trust a lot. It's about trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, trusting that inner wisdom that was built inside of you, is the only way I can really put it. So, next thing is to pay attention to your body signals. Like, this goes hand in hand with listening to your gut, and just enhances that particular technique a little bit more, a little bit further. So our body provides us with so much powerful information about our health, about decisions, about other people, a better life. The only problem is we just don't listen to it, and we just think it's a physical system of indication or a physical ailment. So we have two different levels here. On a basic level, when our body tells us when we're tired. So when we're tired, what do we need to do? We need to rest. We need to sleep, right? Okay. If we're sad, we need to cry. Do we do this? No, we do not, but we need to. When we're stressed out, we should be taking a break and having some fun, just to release that pent up tightness that's built up in our bodies. We need to do something to let it go. We don't normally do that, right? But there's also a deeper level to this. It's also instructive for us if we notice which people zap our energy and which people give us energy. You could be in a room full of people, and you're standing side by side with someone, and you just feel the energy running and coursing through your veins. You get inspiration. You just feel this energy. Oh my gosh. And I'm telling you, I was actually with a person yesterday, and this person had so much energy, and you could tap into if it's good energy or not so good energy. But this was anxious energy, and my legs are hopping, because I'm just pulling his energy in. And it was just, but anyway, I'm not going to get sidetracked here and get off the beaten path, but tap into that energy. You can feel it if you could be around people and just family members, or just anybody, and you just have a just a conversation that lasts only a few minutes, and you feel like, oh my God, I am so drained. I'm exhausted. The people are draining your energy. So you can use this information to create a positive circle of support around you and work on moving forward to eliminate contact with toxic people. So if you know someone is draining your energy or someone makes you really anxious, depending on if it's a good thing or a bad thing, you know, to not really spend a whole lot of time with these people. But if the person is someone who motivates you and inspires you, and you just feel like, a good, peaceful energy from them, or excitement and fun and loving, those are the people that you want to surround yourself with. Those are the people that you want to be your support system. And hopefully you can connect with them at a deeper level, but use it to help build that support system or that community around you. Another thing is that, and this is something that I struggled with a lot, and that's asking for inner guidance. I felt really silly and stupid and kind of unworthy with this segment, or with this in my own personal journey, not just in the segment, because I've been doing it now for a while, and this is one of the promises that I have made myself to work a little bit more with this year in 2020. So by asking for inner guidance, this is a very creative way to consult with our intuition, and it can help us solve problems, especially those that are kind of paradoxical, kind of outside the box type of thing that we really don't have an answer for. We have no way how to get ourselves out of. We can ask for inner guidance. And how you do this is it's really quick and simple. It doesn't take very long. You set aside 5 or 10 minutes just to be quiet and still your mind, like we did earlier. It's just taking a few deep breaths, really relaxing your body and paying attention to your breath. And then inwardly pose a question to yourself. And it could be a question for anything, like, is this financial direction a good one for me right now in this moment? Stay open to any flashes, sensations, or insights or impressions that you receive after you do that. It's going to come in, I'm telling you. And then when you get that insight, you get that flash, check in with your gut. How does your gut feel about it? Does it feel good? If it feels good, move forward with it. Take some action. If you get a sense of, I don't know about, and you kind of get that, the warning, beep, 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 beware, beware, beware. Either you don't take action or you proceed to move forward with caution. Very important. Trust yourself. Ask for guidance. I'm telling you, when you ask for guidance, you are going to be heard and it's going to be answered. Sometimes it actually takes a little bit longer for us to actually get an answer for a question that we're looking for guidance on. But a lot of times too, it comes in almost immediately. So if you don't get the answers that you're looking for, as far as helping guide you, pay attention to your surroundings when you work through your day, because I'm telling you, you're going to see something on TV. If you're a TV watcher, I'm not all that much anymore. See something flash that really catches your interest and really stands out to you on the television or in a book. Or in a conversation that you overhear. It's just going to really stand out. It's like going to be something that buzzes you and kind of sticks into your mind. Or synchronicities, symbols or signs. If you're into symbology, that type of thing, I love working with animal messages and just symbology altogether. But those are some things that you need to become aware of and open up yourself to, so that you can receive those messages in the event that they don't come in right away, so you can put the pieces together. Remember, our guidance, unless you are very, very specific in the way that you need information to come in, can come in many, many different ways. And sometimes you do have to put the pieces together, but just trust it, because they are going to communicate with you in a way that they know that you're going to understand. Sometimes it just takes a little while, just like I had a dream about, I actually had a dream. My dreams are actually coming in a little bit more, and we're actually getting ready to do a segment on dreams in just a minute. There's a slide on it, but I had this dream that I was pregnant and I had twins. Okay, I already have 4 kids, and in no way am I thinking of having any more children. In fact, it's actually physically impossible for me to have any more children, but it's symbolic for me in creating 2 new things. I'm birthing 2 new things in my life right now, and I have been working on creating some programs and some workshops and some classes, as well as creating this community, Anonymous No More. So I am in the creation process. I am birthing new life, but in just a different way. So I had to kind of put the piece together, and it took me a moment to like, I don't understand what. And not all dreams are messages, but for me, I was working on, and you know, I'm gonna stop right there. I I was working on, I have been working on trying to get guidance and insights on the changes and adjustments that I need to make within my business and within my own personal life. So this was guidance for me with that. It was just giving me confirmation that I'm on the right track. I am working in the creation process to make um, things come to fruition for me. So listen to your dreams. This is the next segment. So intuition is the language of dreams, and every 90 um, minutes during our REM stage of sleep, we dream, and dreams can provide us answers about health, relationships, finances, or any area where the solution isn't always obvious to our rational waking mind. They can be very symbolic and may not make sense for a little bit of time, but although they can be very, very helpful, a lot of times, a lot of people struggle with dream recall, myself included. In fact, it was so bad at one point in time in my life where I actually just didn't even bother with it at all, and my dreams stopped. Well, now that I'm really kind of embodying my spirituality and tapping into my tuition on a routine basis and really going deeper with my own sacred truth, my dreams have come back and more vivid than ever. And but it's still sometimes hard to remember. They are very elusive at sometimes. So the trick is, and helping you to remember your dreams, is to keep a dream journal by your bed. So here's kind of a process that you can try. Before you go to sleep each night, pose a question to yourself, such as, how can I improve my relationships with my parents or with my partner? How can I improve myself? Whatever it is, you know, simple, easy question, or even a difficult one, but I would suggest to start with easy questions to begin with. Um, so you pose your question right before you go to bed, and the next morning when you wake up, immediately before you get out of bed, write down whatever you can remember about that dream. Okay? Then your question, what was your question? What was your dream? See if you can figure out if you received an answer from your dream, from the question that you posed. Your question that you posed. Fun, right? So also, I want you to make sure that you remember to be patient with your process. Results don't always happen right away, so be patient. They will come in. If you get stuck, if you stick with practicing it, practice makes perfect. And like with everything else, including exercising and muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets, right? So try repeating. If you don't get an answer, try repeating the question every night for the next week and see if you get an answer. All right. All right. So now, how do we distinguish between if we're receiving intuition, if it's fearful thought, or it's wishful thinking? Oh my gosh, that makes it even more confusing, right? How am I going to do this? All right. So as you become adept at interpreting your intuitions, you need to be able to distinguish which ones are authentic, which ones are fear-based, or hopeful thinking. Okay. So reliable intuition hits convey information neutrally. Okay. They is they are not emotionally attached, although they may come through as very loving, very compassionate, and an affirming tone. They have no attachment. There is no connection. They just drop in and they go. They often come through as exceptionally crisp and clear. Or you may have a detached sensation, as if you were just watching a movie. So you're just kind of seeing it come in and go out, right? There's no connection. There's no attachment. But you can, I'm not going to get off course. I have a tendency to do that. But so in contrast, a fearful or wishful thought that's processing in your brain can feel highly emotionally charged. And it can be accompanied by no sense of rightness in the gut. It could be cruel. It could be demeaning, self-doubt, that little critic in your head. Or it could reflect old issues or psychological wounds like fear of intimacy or insecurities. Now, these fearful or wishful thinking thoughts are going to continue to float around in your head. These are not intuitive hits. Okay, intuitive hits are in and they're out. Wishful or fearful thinking, they linger and they bounce around in your head, they bounce around in your gut, whatever it is. More or less, it's going to be in your head. Intuition, you're going to feel in your gut. It's just going to drop in and drop out. It comes in really quick and it goes. Okay, so that's how you can discern or distinguish between the three. Most importantly, your intuition is your very own fun secret weapon. Intuition is awesome and it's cool. And as you practice these techniques that I have provided for you today to develop your intuition, remember to have fun with it, play with it, tap into other people's energy, explore dream time, do your requesting for guidance with your higher self, with God, with your soul, whatever it is that you so choose to believe in, or whatever is your process, tap into it. There are so many different cool ways that you could do. Sensing your body when you're, even when working with your animals, you know, you walk up, tap into that energy that they give you, how loving it could be. You know, do they need anything from you? So also look at it as an adventure to learn how to be smarter and more discerning in your life. It is an adventure. Enjoy the moments, enjoy working with it and connecting. You never know what it is that you're going to find when you tap into your intuition. It's amazing. It's marvelous. I love it. And the best way to know if your intuition is accurate is to test it out. Then observe the results that you get. And you can play games with this. You can play with your children with it. You can, you know, work with your spouse with it. There's just so many different ways that you can work and test out your intuition. And as I have observed time and again with my clients and with living my own life, working with your intuition is like having your own secret weapon to help you navigate life. And it's the coolest thing. People just need to learn to tap into it and to trust it. And that brings this segment to an end. So I thank you all, and I'm sending love and gratitude to everyone who is a member and who watches this video. As we become anonymous no more together, here is my contact information. You can email me at anonymousnomore2020@gmail.com. Here is the link to the Facebook group, as well as our website, which I am posting. I'm creating blogs for different things as well on that. And it's just a way for me to provide more information and content valuable use to my followers and to the group itself. Let's see. So the next segment that I will be doing will be the second sign of repressed feminine energy, and it's going to be on the topic of lack of community, tribe, or circle, which in essence is one of the reasons why I did have created um, Anonymous No More, is with the intention of creating community, a community for women, as a safe space to just be ourselves, to be authentic, to learn, to continue to grow personally and individually and spiritually together. It's a group of like-minded women who want to help empower each other, and take on some great causes in the world. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this segment. If you liked what you heard today, I hope and ask that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, as well as joining the Facebook um, group Anonymous No More. And with that, I'm going to bid you a good day, and I will be talking to you soon. See you soon.